On December 28th, 2008, the Chiefs and the Bengals met at the bottom of the AFC. Somehow the game still had a pulse. This is chapter 13,507, Chiefs at Bengals, week 17, 2008. Yeah, this is one of those games where the standings don't exactly scream history. Kansas City comes in at 2-13, Cincinnati's 3-11-1. They're not playing for January. Nobody's watching the scoreboard for help. It's not a playoff chase. This is more like two franchises dragging themselves to the finish line and try not to look flat busted while doing it. That's the thing with week 17. Everybody's season means something, even when it means something ugly. The league around them is weird. Detroit is finishing the first 0-16 season in league history. Miami went 1-15 the year prior, and somehow they're about to steal the AFC East, while the Patriots are 11-5, somehow missed the playoffs. Pittsburgh and Baltimore are turning the AFC North into a knife fight, and out in the NFC, the Panthers, Giants, and Cardinals are all headed for January. Nobody quite has figured out yet. The Chiefs are in year 3 under Herm Edwards, and the rebuild has gone from painful to radioactive. Carl Peterson, the longtime front office face of the franchise, already announced he's stepping down. The roster's young. The defense can't rush the passer. The offense was rebuilt on the fly around Tyler Thigpen, who's basically running this pistol spread science project because the normal plan fell apart. But honestly, it had little juice. Thigpen could move. Dwayne Bowe was having a real good season. Tony Gonzalez, still Tony Gonzalez. Larry Johnson was still there technically, but the vibes were cooked. Kansas City had been losing close games. That sounds respectable until you realize almost is a disease when it happens every week. Cincinnati's year is different. Not better, though. Carson Palmer's elbow wrecked the season. Ryan Fitzpatrick is starting. Chad Ochocinco and TJ Houshmandzadeh are both inactive for the game, which sounds like a fake preseason lineup. Nope. That's the actual season finale. The Bengals have spent most of the year unable to score, unable to protect, and unable to pretend this is anything but a broken season. But then, late, they found something. Cedric Benson, who washed out in Chicago, shows up in Cincinnati and gives them a running game. Mike Zimmer's defense starts playing real football. The Bengals beat Washington, then they shut out Cleveland, and now they're trying to end the year with 3 straight wins. Doesn't save the season. It changes the taste in your mouth if you're a Bengals fan. First quarter, Cincinnati tells you exactly what this game is going to be. Slow and physical. Little awkward, kind of muddy. Fitzpatrick scrambles, Benson keeps leaning forward, and Shane Graham hits from 38 to make it 3-0. The Chiefs move the ball just enough to make you think, okay, maybe Thigpen's weird little offense can annoy them. No. Looks like Kansas City might turn into the loose late 2000s spread game. Instead, Cincinnati drags him into a basement fight and takes away the stairs. Early second quarter, Andre Caldwell gives the Bengals a spark. He's a rookie receiver, but with Ocho and Hoosh out, he's suddenly not a gadget. He's part of the plan. Cincinnati uses him on reverses, quick touches, and even a direct snap. On one drive, Caldwell flips the field. Brandon Carr gets hit with pass interference, and Benson does the rest. He runs for 14, then he runs for 2. Touchdown. Bengals up, 10-love. That's basically the game's personality. It's not explosive. It's not pretty. It's just Cincinnati saying, you're not leaving here with anything easy. Later in the half, the Bengals build another long drive. 16 plays, nearly 8 minutes. Not a highlight reel drive. It's a must job. Fitzpatrick converts a few. Caldwell keeps popping up. Chris Henry catches one over the middle, and Graham finishes it with another field goal. Cincinnati leads 13-0 at half. Kansas City has 2 first downs. 2, not a typo. Not a bad quarter stretched into a half. That's an offense going into the final Sunday of the season and finding locked doors on every side. The third quarter doesn't really loosen anything. Cincinnati doesn't blow the game open because this Bengals offense is not built to blow anything open. But the defense keeps squeezing. Larry Johnson gets nowhere. Where does he get? Nowhere. Jamal Charles gets a taste, but not much more. Gonzalez gets doubled, bumped, and made to wait. Bo keeps fighting, and he still gets his yards, but none of it feels like real control. Then Donnie Jones makes the play that seals the mood. In the fourth quarter, he crashes in on Jamal Charles, forces a fumble. Cincinnati turns it into Graham's third field goal. It's 16-0. And now the Bengals are chasing something strange, considering their record. Back-to-back shutouts. They blanked Cleveland the week before, and now Kansas City is running out of time. It's late, it's ugly, and suddenly, that shutout becomes the whole little drama inside this forgotten game. Finally, Kansas City puts together one drive. Thigpen hits Bo deep, and the Chiefs get down near the goal line. Cincinnati stuffs them, penalties stretch it out, the Chiefs get chance after chance, and the Bengals keep making it hard. Then with 2:20 left, Thigpen finds Tony Gonzalez, 5-yard touchdown. And the 2-point try fails, Bengals 16, Chiefs 6. The touchdown's more than garbage time. At the moment, it's just a Hall of Fame tight end keeping a bad team from being shut out. But in hindsight, that was Tony Gonzalez's final catch as a Kansas City Chief. His last game with the franchise ends with him in the end zone in a 16-6 loss on a team about to be torn apart. That's clean. Maybe a little brutal, but it's clean in a weird way. The great player gets the last word, even if the scoreboard doesn't care. The Bengals run it out. Benson finishes with 111 yards and a touchdown. Fitzpatrick throws for 129, 0 picks, and just enough adult supervision. Caldwell has 49 rushing yards and 34 receiving yards. Exactly the kind of oddball stat line you get in a Week 17 game with half the offense missing. The Bengals outrushed the Chiefs 204-31. For the Chiefs, Thigpen throws for 191 yards and a touchdown. Bo goes over 100 yards and gets to the 1,000-yard mark for the season. Gonzalez catches 5 for 53 in the score, but the offense never really gets comfortable, and the defense finishes the year with only 10 sacks. All year. The fewest by any team since sacks became an official statistic. Afterwards, the Bengals side sounds relieved, not triumphant. Bobby Williams calls the 3-0 finish liberation. Marvin Lewis doesn't do cartwheels. He still has to meet with Mike Brown. TJ is headed towards free agency and makes it clear he doesn't want the franchise tag. Shane Graham, also unsigned, says he wants to stay, but he knows the business might say otherwise. On the Chiefs side, the season ends at 2-14, the worst record in franchise history at the time. Larry Johnson, he wants out. Herm Edwards is left dangling. Tony Gonzalez, his future's cloudy. The whole thing feels less like a season ending and more like a building being emptied. And because this is Week 17, there's no rest of the season for either team. That's it. The Bengals finished 4-11-1, third in the AFC North, ahead of Cleveland. The Chiefs finished 2-14, last in the AFC West. The league moves on without them. Pittsburgh goes through the AFC. Arizona makes a weird, glorious NFC run. Super Bowl 33 ends with the Steelers beating the Cardinals 27-23 on the Santonio Holmes toe tap. But these two teams don't disappear. Cincinnati's late season run turns out to be real foreshadowing. Benson sticks. Zimmer's defense keeps rising. In 2009, the Bengals go 10-6, sweep the AFC North, and they win the division. They don't fix everything, but they prove this little December surge, it's not fake. On the other side, Kansas City tears it down. Scott Pioli comes in, Herm Edwards fired. Todd Haley gets hired after Arizona's Super Bowl run. Tony Gonzalez is traded to Atlanta. The Chiefs improve to 4-12 in 2009. Technically, yeah, that's progress. Still a long way from anything sturdy. So what's chapter 13,507? Well, it's not a classic, don't lie to yourself. It's a floorboard game. You pull it up, and you can see what's underneath the house. Cincinnati's quietly laying the first plank for a division title. Kansas City's about to rip out the room. And on one cold, late December afternoon, the Bengals didn't need stars. style, or fireworks. They just needed Benson, defense, and a bad team that had finally run out of road. Well, thanks for sticking around, and maybe I'll see you next time.